car. That's where people listen to the radio the most.
Right. Because they kind of have no option. It's either that or CDs, which most people don't really
Yeah,
listen to anymore these
which
days.
CDs are kind of going by the wayside, and then now it's fight between
MP3.
now it's a fight between MP3s and satellite radio.
Yeah. That's the thing. I really don't feel like there's a lot of wind in the sails for terrestrial radio. I feel like there's a lot of strength for not necessarily satellite, but like for internet radio, like Pandora and shit like that.
Yeah, the
Um,
thing about Pandora is, I don't know, do they even like pay their artists when they play music on there? Or?
I have no fucking idea. I imagine they do because they have like sponsors and shit, and you can't skip like willy nilly and stuff. So
Yeah, unless you like pay for it, like to get extra skips or something like that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I imagine like that money at least goes towards like maintenance and paying for the rights to play those songs.
They'd almost have to. They get shut down if they didn't have the rights to play that shit.
Oh, absolutely.
So, especially
But
being as as public as they are.
yeah, them
But like,
spot.
I'll be honest. Most of my listening lately has been like YouTube.
Yeah,
Like I YouTube like a whole album and I listen like to the whole thing, like Fly By Night, the whole album, right on.
nice.
Yeah,
My
because I mean CDs are convenient and shit, but that requires that you have the player, which isn't always convenient. And plus, I like mobile, but I don't necessarily have it on my phone.
Yeah, but then you can load it onto your phone.
I could, but my phone's a piece of shit.
Well, yeah, that's true. It is.
It's not really an option in my particular case,
Yeah,
but
you know,
I swear to God, I'm going to punt this goddamn thing into the lake outside or pond outside of my work as soon as I'm done with it. I'm going to give it the farewell it deserves. A punt straight into the goddamn lake where it can get shit on by geese. Have a nice afterlife, you fuck.
I laughed so hard that that phone just like ends up on your desk the next day, just covered in goose shit.
A goose walks in through the door, fucking vomits up the phone.
Yeah.
I'm just like, ah, you bastard.
It fucking flies out of there.
It shits on the phone and then leaves. Like, oh!
He's like, God damn it, why?
Is it at least charged? It dies. Like, ah!
Unbelievable, man. But like, I mean, again, going back to people's like complaints, like, oh, there's too much talking on here. We radio stations and shows need to separate themselves from everybody else.
Hmm.
If you're listening to just music, you might as well just listen to a fucking MP3 player. There's no commercials. There's no fucking bitching.
Right.
You know?
I can't say that I see terrestrial radio going away anytime soon. Do I see it as a possibility? Sure, because in all honesty, if more and more people keep saying like, "Oh, fuck this talk. I don't want to listen to talk," then there really isn't going to be a need to have people. There's not going to be a need to differentiate because people are going to be their own DJs basically. Because really, what's the point of the DJ? The point of the DJ is to get across like maybe news or interesting information, or like you're talking about, develop the character of the station by what they talk about.
No,
And if
really,
people don't like that, if people are tuning out because of that, and because they just rather listen to the music and none of that other shit, then you're kind of gonna lose people over time, I
well,
think.
it's really two things. Number one, it's it's more of like the job of the DJ is to entertain the listener. Be it tell funny stories or whatever. Because most of the time, people listen in their cars. They're going to work or they're coming home from work. Either way,
Hmm.
they're miserable because they're in fucking traffic. And your job is to make that commute as painless as possible.
I suppose.
Number two, you always have those fucking assholes that are like, "Oh, these guys suck. These guys suck. Can I get a free T-shirt?" It's. Dude, I guarantee you, dude. Go be a phone screener at a fucking radio station for a week. I guarantee you, somebody will call up. These guys talk too much. They suck. Can I get a T-shirt? I could do their fucking jobs.
That's so fucking backwards.
It
To
really
call
is.
up and bury the very people that you've apparently just been listening to. So apparently you're appealed by something because you've been listening to them, and
Yeah.
then ask for a free shirt.
Oh yeah.
The balls.
Oh yeah. The fucking balls. You know,
Man.
radio constantly has people telling you that you suck. Whether no, dude, I'm not kidding about this. Like, I'm glad you're laughing about it,
I
but
know because you were in the industry.
yeah, I was in the industry, but here, you got,
Sort of, kind of are. I mean, you are doing internet radio right,
yeah, I mean, it kind of counts.
right
Um,
now.
But yeah,
Literally.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, you've got, you've got the listening public. They call you up, no, you suck, blah blah blah. You have your boss, your program director, telling you, you guys suck. And basically, the way to look at a program director is like looking at like a critic. A critic for anything. And you know what the saying is about a critic? A critic is just a failed version of whatever whatever they're critiquing. Like a film critic is a failed filmmaker. A music critic is a failed musician.
Hmm.
And it still fucking just infuriates me to fucking think about that son of a bitch.
Well, that's a personal vendetta, certainly, but you gotta wonder if it would be the same anywhere else. I mean,
the dude was fucking hypocritical as fuck. Okay, I'll tell you a quick story. It kind of rounds up to like when I was let go. Basically, I was gonna go to this is book signing, and I'm shooting emails back and forth with the guys on the show, and the program director is attached to it, and they're going over like stuff coming up on the show, like, okay, well, we have this guy, we have the fucking Red Sox are in the playoffs, maybe we should do this as an angle. One of the angles was have a nun come on and do a prayer for the Red Sox, and I'm like, that is just fucking boring as shit. Like, where's the entertainment in that?
Yeah, who's gonna listen to that?
So I send out an email saying, well, okay, what if we had somebody playing like we cut a couple drops of somebody like just doing a voice of the devil, doing the other side, and just kind of like screwing with this lady a little bit, and make it at least entertaining. And the guy sends back the email to everybody. Slip, because my fucking name was Slipknot at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Shitty fucking nickname, but anyways, he says, Slip, stick to answering phones. I saw that, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding. Like, dude, I was ready to beat the shit out of him.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one thing to respond to that with that back to just you, but to copy everybody on that is like, fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the first time he's kind of like done something to me where he had to like get everybody's fucking attention and be like, I have the biggest cock at the station, look at me. But no, like, it got bad. Like the next, like I sent a text to one of the guys that I worked with. I was like, dude, did you see that fucking email? He's like, no, I haven't checked my email in a few minutes. What's going on? I said, check it. He sends me back a text message like 2 minutes later. He's like, that's fucked. I'm like, yeah, it kind of is.
Pretty ballsy.
Yeah, very, very fucking ballsy. So the next day, they were thinking like, all right, it's gonna be business as usual. I was like, no, if this is how the motherfucker wants to be, like, going to stick to answering phones. I just said, look, guys, I'm just answering phones today. Fuck it. Okay, you have a producer. He can grab audio for you. We have interns. I'm here just to apparently answer the fucking phones. Everything I've done before that, it doesn't fucking matter.
You're like, I'll be your paid fucking monkey.
Exactly. I will be paid to answer the phones for you. Apparently they were pretty pissed off about it as well, and talked to the program director after the show and just said, look, that's kind of fucked up. The way you did it and what you said.
It's just wicked unprofessional.
Yeah, like, you need to apologize to him. So he comes back, and I'm like in the intern room, like just getting all the podcasts ready, because the interns that we had there had to leave because they had school, which that's no problem. You got class before this, not a problem. But he comes back and he's like, I just wanted to apologize. And I'm like, this guy isn't fucking sincere at all. Like, he is so full of fucking shit.
I hate people like that.
Yeah, just like, I thought I was just joking around there, and I didn't know you took it that seriously. I was like, dude, that's not a fucking joke.
Seriously.
That's not a joke.
No, not really.
And especially when, fast forward, like, I think 6 months, maybe a year later, I'm in his office explaining to him what I do there to try and get a raise. Just saying, like, look, when you hired me, it was just to answer the phones. I know that. But I've been doing a lot more fucking work. Like, you remember this? You like that? Yep, that was me. You remember this? That was me again. And
the unsung hero.
Yeah, the unsung fucking hero that's not getting his fucking dues there. But I kind of forgot where. Anyways, But yeah, like basically, the program director is an absolute asshole.
Or
At
at
least
least there he was.
there, the New Hampshire job where I was,
Yeah, that's
it
true.
basically
That one didn't seem any better.
basically if you're a program director, it's like pretty much your job to be an asshole.
I kind of feel the same way about like CEOs, in all honesty.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some CEOs out there. Like I've heard of some of the things they do. They are fucking awesome. Like the CEO for what is it, BJ's, I think. He pay he pays full time workers. I think he pays them a little bit more because they're full time. He pays part timers. I think if I remember this right, it was like $20 an hour or something like that.
Mm,
Part time, mind you, and they get benefits.
damn.
They at least get like the opportunity to sign up for benefits that the full timers get.
I gotta go. I gotta go to apply at BJ's, man.
Yeah, no fucking shit, huh? And it's like it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like, oh, if you're unloading a truck or even if you're a cashier, you get the same thing.
That's sweet.
I'm like, you know what, man? That's a fucking cool CEO. Like, that's a guy who actually lives by the motto, like, you take care of your employees will take care of the customers. Everything's cool.
Yeah. You just gotta hope that he's not, like raping kids or something.
Yeah.
Because like, that's the, and I hate to think that way, but I am at my core a negative fuck. And anytime I hear about something awesome like that, you got to be like, well, dude, clearly like molest chihuahuas or something. Like, there's something fucked about this person. There just has to be.
You're such a negative creep.
I'm a negative creep.
But yeah, it's almost like it.
Well, speaking of Caitlyn Jenner, daddy's little girl ain't a girl no more.
Yep.
Well, only the other way around.
But yeah, it's almost like if you're in charge of anything, your job is to be an asshole. And it's like,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
mean,
like
you have to play one. I mean, you kind of like the middleman of shit. Like you're the one who has to negotiate or be the captain of shit. You're gonna have to lie to people. You're gonna have to bullshit. It's kind of your responsibility, unfortunately.
And the sad part is, like, if you're an employee and you know, like, something is bullshit. This is bullshit! And you, like, say anything, like, your job could be on the line. Because, I don't know what it is in Massachusetts, like, what the hiring law is, but in Rhode Island, they have this thing called the hire at will policy.
Same thing here.
Same thing? Okay, so basically, for those that don't know, basically means, yes, you're hired, blah, blah, blah. We have the right to fire you whenever, at will, for no reason.
Right. It's sort of a mutual thing. They can fire you at any time for any reason, but at the same time, you can walk out at any time for any reason.
Right.
You are an employee at will.
Right. But it's also kind of a cop-out because, I don't know if you remember, like, back in the days of working, a company just couldn't fire you for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know when that started.
I don't know either, but I
feel like it didn't always be like that.
It wasn't always like this,
Because I started working when I was like 14.
Yeah, I started working when I was about 14, 15 myself.
Yeah, I remember getting working papers, working for Market Basket and shit.
Yeah.
Being a sacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, a sacker.
Sacker.
Sack.
Sinner.
I put things in the sack.
But yeah, I don't know. It just seems to me like it's such a cop out because they used to, if you were gonna get fired, like they had to have a reason to fire you. Like, hey, we caught this employee stealing. We have him on video. Okay, right. That's a legitimate reason.
Seriously.
If they're like, well, we're cutting back on budgets and we have to let a couple of people go, like, it's not really a good fucking reason.
No. I mean, it's legitimate, but it does suck. But then there are other times when it's just, like, I think I told the story before when I worked for this company in Burlington. I won't give the name. But basically it was like a $10 an hour job. I had to wear a fucking tie to work. Like, I had to dress up. It was a dispatch job, so I had to actually like know all the areas and shit. It was a pain in the dick, and I only got paid $10 an hour for it. And I was like, this is kind of bullshit. So I went in and I found another job, and I gave my 2-week notice to the boss, and he was like, you can just leave now. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, you can just leave now. So I didn't get to finish my 2 weeks there because the dude just basically let me go basically when I gave my 2-week notice.
Jeez.
I was fucking pissed.
Yeah, because I mean that's
because I missed out on 2 fucking weeks of work.
yeah. That's,
But he was